Okay, got the remains of the Birmingham Mineral Railroad bed right here, and can't really see because this is kind of the wrong time of the year to do this, but just beyond the first few trees over there, there was a spur line that went off into the ravine over to the left, and it went all the way around to the end of the ravine to the old No. 4 mine site, and that had drift mines and open ore mining. And through the woods right here, you can see there are some big timber supports remains right down through here. Just about right there and everything. And those were actually part of the ore concentration plant that was here back in the 40s. So there's still some pylons there and big wooden timber supports, because they actually had a trestle, kind of like a conveyor system, that went across the railroad bed there. So anyway, just gonna hike up here to the old No. 4 mine site and take a look around. All right. Okay, moving a little further up a trail right here, and what you got here is the ore crusher remains to the No. 4 mine site up here, and this was installed in the early 1940s during World War II, and it was installed by Sloss Sheffield Steel and Iron Company, and they had to do an incredible amount of clearing out and building all these concrete support structures, and this thing had to be shipped all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they had to get it up here. I've looked to see if you can find any photos of the day, and there's nothing. So, but anyway, the ore came through the crusher, was dropped off here somehow, came through the crusher on some kind of conveyor system that ran down, and they had an elevated conveyor, and through those trees right there is a giant tailings pile, and then underneath the tailings pile is a concrete structure that you can't see, especially in summer months, and there would be basically a big hole in the roof and a conveyor system below, and the ore dropped through there and then go through an underground tunnel conveyor system out an opening and down over the Birmingham Mineral Railroad to a elevated wooden ore bin, and down in the woods there you would have the remains of the ore concentration plant, or the sintering plant. But not really sure how this worked up here. In fact, you know, there's not even a foundation for any kind of electrical substation, because this would have required a lot of electricity. So whether or not there was one, I'm sure there had to be one. But see, those are some steel beams right there, and you know, they cut those things down. So there's remains of a power line or telephone pole over there. So, but anyway, this is a pretty neat structure to see. This will be up here for, who knows, longer than we're alive. So, all right, and get one last photo here, or video, I mean. There it is, 36 by 60 Fairmount type crusher, manufactured by Alice Chalmers Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Patent applied for. So, all right, really a neat structure. So, okay. Alright, this view from the side here. And coming up top here. And get a view of up top. And see what it looks like. There were a lot more components right here. They were just taken away. So not really sure. This had a hopper and a rotary, kind of like a high quality steel claw that would just crush up the iron ore. But the conveyor system, part of it's right here, had rollers, and you can see these. And a lot of speculation. I was been told that this was open ore mining in the 1940s, but I kind of find it hard to believe they were doing any open ore mining up here. But one of the things that's interesting, this could have been a platform for the trucks or something right here. And it's right there. There's a big, gosh man, maybe 20-25 inch in diameter wooden beams right there. And it's hard to really say if that was really a mine entrance or this was the base of a loading platform for trucks or ore carts. But you know, if it was a mine entrance, it's in a fantastic place. It's kind of neat to think, hey, that could have been a mine entrance. But anyway, this is just up here in the woods, and like I said, there's one of those old power line poles. Probably a power line pole, not a telephone pole. But anyway, so this is just some of the little interesting things you can find when you're hiking around up here. Okay, moving closer towards the ravine there where they had some old drift mines up here at the old No. 4 mine site. And it's hard to tell down here through the trees. I'm not going to go down there just because this place is eat up with ticks. And I don't feel like getting ticks. But the remains of the rail bed are right here. This is the spur line to the No. 4 mine that was built back in the, oh gosh, late 1890s, early 1900s. And I don't know how long it was in service for till L&N removed the rails, sometimes probably back in the 20s, you know, and discontinued mining at this site. And then they reconstituted or reopened the mine site back in the early 40s with the ore crusher and the ore concentration / sintering plant down there in the woods. The remains of it, I mean. But this is it's hard to tell if this used to be a tramway, but you know, it could have been for even trucks or something back in the 40s. It's just hard to say. Nobody really seems to have any sure information on really what went on here back in the 40s, except for the ore concentration plant. But anyway, you know, there's a little trail back here you can walk on. And so just walking down this trail. But this is, the rail bed would have ended right back there. And back in the day in 1890s, they would have had like a wooden trestle, like a bridge here, and would have had tramway lines running down. And they would have had what they called free acting tipples, and they would have had the little mine cars, and they would have just dumped the open ore, unprocessed, into the waiting ore cars of the Birmingham Mineral Railroad. So I'm sure everything looked quite different back then, but it's pretty much like a jungle up here now. So, but anyway, there's some trails going up here to, you just walk right by the old drift mine sites and open ore mine sites. Nothing's open. There's no drift mines open up here or anything. So, but anyway, this is, you know, kind of like, this is what it looks like now. So, all right. Okay, moved a little further up in the ravine. And through those trees, up along the finger of the ridge line there's a big outcrop. It's kind of almost angled shaped, and that was probably most likely a drift mine site up there, and probably open, like I said, late 1880s, 1890s. I mean, I don't really know when. And if you go further back up there, you know, you'll run across, you have to look for them, but you run across little circular air shafts that are about 12 inches in diameter that went down to give airflow into the mines. So they don't go down in the mines anymore. They're all clogged up. But anyway, this is just coming on up the trail here. And let's see. And can't really tell in the summer months, but the trail leads across a little rock retaining wall, and that's probably where they had the tramways, that little ore cart tramway line. So all this place has just been so torn up, it's really hard to imagine what it looked like over 100 years ago. So, all right. Okay, just starting to climb up the mountain here, and you can see where this is where a lot of the open ore mining was done. And I'll venture off down in here, but this right here, that collapse, that overhang right there, that was a drift mine back over 100 years ago, maybe 120 years ago. And the little ore cart lines would have gone right out through there, and had little ore carts right there. Whether or not they were pulled by mules or pushed by men, it's hard to say what the height of the entrance of this drift mine was. But they would have gone into the seam off to the right, the ore seam. But this is one of the drift mines here. I said it's hard to see in the summer months. So, but anyway, make a climb on up the trail here. So, all right. Okay, this was another drift mine here. You can see by the ore outcrop here how much they took out. And that right there was a drift mine. And usually they're every 60 feet apart, the remains of them are. And they had little passageways to connect to each drift mine, not only for the miners but for airflow. So they chopped off an incredible amount of ore back in the day. And where that collapse is right there, that was another drift mine opening. So they would have had an ore cart tramway coming down here, what they call operated by a gravity plane system, where one full load of ore or two goes down, and they get a free trajectory return of two empty ore carts back up the mountain. No electricity, steam power needed. So, but that's that would have been one of the drift mines right there. And this is another one right there. And they went hundreds and hundreds of feet paralleling each other up under the mountain to get the ore seam. So, all right. Okay, here's another one. Got a little trail that runs up here. But this would have been a drift mine entrance right here. And it just goes all the way back down. You can see these little berms on either side. These were, the ore carts would have come right out here. You got these berms, and it would have just come right down over here. And I said there would be a tramway right here, gravity plane system. So this little wall right here, this was all anything but iron ore just stacked right here to make some kind of a retaining wall for the ore carts and the ore cart rails. So, all right. Okay, this is last one I'm on a video. But that's another drift mine there. It's collapsed, of course, and it would have run all the way up under the what they call the finger or ridge line. And they would come out on the other side for hundreds and hundreds of feet. So, but that's another one right there. And a little ore cart tramway would have gone right out here, and this trail right here would have been the main gravity operated plane, or the gravity plane operated incline to take the ore carts down to the loading dock. But that's one of the drift mines there. Of course, it's collapsed, probably collapsed 60, 70, 80 years ago, who knows. So, but anyway, it's like this, pretty much going all the way up towards the top of the mountain. And you just see remnants of it going up the trail here. So, anyway, all right. There we go.